there, YouTube? I'm back again for some more Townstar content. And right now, I'm very excited to talk about some things that got percolating inside of my brain with the recent announcement of dynamic weather in Townstar Season 2. And it got me thinking, well, Townstar Season 2 is just right around the corner. What would I love to see in Townstar Season 2? So full disclaimer, I went to the Discord server there and I looked through the Townstar suggestions, picked out some of my favorites. And so right now, we're going to go over my top 8 things that I would love to see in Townstar Season 2. These are in no particular order. So first and foremost, this is a slam dunk. I think this will be coming, not in maybe in Season 2, but in Season 3 for sure. And that is something to do with our jet fuel. Right now, you can make jet fuel and you can then do nothing with it. None. Use for none. You can sell it. That's great. Good, sell it. I imagine what they're going to do is eventually add jets into the game. And that way, it will make spots that are not as close to cities or in the center of the country, you know, like those spots that nobody goes to, more viable and more in play, where you can then play more of an oil strategy or a solar strategy or something like that. Which, ooh, spoilers, we'll get more into that later. So the next thing that I'd love to see in Townstar are pigs. And a lot of people mentioned pigs and the idea of pigs, and the big thing they really want is pizza. So I'm going to kind of lump these two together. Pigs and cheese kind of seem like a no-brainer to me. We already have cows. This is just an extension of the cows. Maybe you have a special building that turns the milk into the cheese, and then you can turn it into pizza from there. So we would start adding meat to the game, which once again would make something slightly higher than baguette, because right now you can make baguettes, but then you just sell baguettes. You don't do anything else with them. But if you had meat, then you could start your own sandwich shop, and that would add more options, more versatility to the game, because really the more different end game conditions and middle point conditions you can have in this game, the better I think the game gets, where it's like, oh no, I love the grape strategy, well I really like the crude oil strategy. You know, the more of those you have, the better. So I would absolutely love to see pigs and cheese mixed into the game. Next, we need to see some more versatility with Townstar coins. So why do I say it? So right now, this is a pay-to-earn, or a play-to-earn game, where there will be a bunch of people who in the future can get in and do freemium, where they essentially can tend their farm, they can have some fun, and every day they'll earn a Townstar coin, which is an actual crypto that will go to them when they connect their wallet to it. Very, very cool. So that's going to be the freemium crowd. They're not quite here yet. You can still play this game for free right now if you check out the link down below to see if it's for you, but there's really a couple different groups of people in the game right now. So first you have the Gala Gold people, the people that just wanted to dip their toes into this. They spent about $100 to $120, somewhere around that ballpark after everything, and they have one NFT, Mr. Express, whatever the heck it's called. It's a great NFT. I love the thing. But then you have people who got a little bit more into it, and so they spent a couple more hundreds of dollars, and they have, you know, some medium weight NFTs, and then you have a huge chunk of people that bought really expensive NFTs, because if you buy the expensive NFTs, then you can farm every single day, and you'll gain a whole bunch of Townstar coins. So your NFTs will gain you Townstar coins, but we're not getting too much of the weeds there. What I'm talking about is, how about a little bit more versatility with these Townstars? So the idea that was presented, and I thought it was great, was it could be a way for you to purchase things in-game, and essentially give that Townstar back to the game. So let's say, because one of the things that especially I think freemium players are really going to run into when they first start the game is that they're going to, their town's just going to die because they run out of gas, because that's the hardest thing to do, is get that gas churning. Once you get the gas churning, it becomes a much different game of just trying to maximize and optimize your city. But before that, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die if I don't destroy this well right here, but they need this well or this thing. And that's a lot of fun with the game. But by adding Townstar coins, I think it would make freemium players get a little bit less frustrated. So if you could spend Townstar coins to buy things in the game, like buy yourself a lumberjack or whatever. The other thing is, why I think it needs a little bit more versatility, is people say, well, yeah, Bauer, but you could buy NFTs with your Townstar coin as well. Yeah, but most people aren't going to be earning a lot of Townstar coins. Like, I earn one Townstar coin a day, and I'm totally fine with that, because I make videos about it. But if I actually wanted to go purchase an NFT, the cheapest NFT would be 2,724 Townstar coins, which means I would have to play this game for roughly, I don't know, 7-8 years before I could eventually afford this. And it's about to be sold out anyway. There's only 24 left, but I'm sure there'll be something else cheaper. Oh, wait, no, there's nothing else even remotely close to being cheaper here, because Mr. Puddles is the next least expensive thing at 6,000 Townstar coins, Once again, that is like 18 years of grinding the game every single day if I were going to afford Mr. Puddles. So I think giving the Town Star coin some more versatility is a great idea for the long-term success of the game. Now, I do know that there's definitely going to be some concerns about that making the game more pay to earn. Because if you have a boatload of Town Star coins because you have very, very lucrative NFTs, then you don't even care. You would optimize right from the beginning. And then that would somewhat ruin the tournaments, you might say. Which brings me to my next thing that I want to talk about, which I think needs to be in Town Star Season 2 or in the future, which is weight classes. And this was the best image I could get. I do apologize. Enjoyed Brock Lesnar right there. Weight classes. So essentially, if you had, the X number of NFT power, so let's say 1 to 5, you would be in this weight class, and you would be in a separate tournament for the weekly competition, because I think the weekly competition is really going to draw a lot of people in there. And then you might have the 6 to 10, and then you might have the 11 to 20, and then you would start making it wider and wider, and then you'd have an overall as well. And the overall is, it's neither here nor there, but it's good, because the bottom line is, the weight class idea, I think, is going to be spectacular for the freemium crowd down here. But the people up the top are like, no. Why would we do that? Why are we going to get much less money on this tournament? Because right now, they're dominating these tournaments. Because if you put in the time and the effort and you have these NFTs in place, you can make your money back. Now, it might take a while, but you can definitely do it. But I think this is essential to the long-term health of the game. Having a ranked system almost. And you look at any online game, and the ranked game mode is typically the most popular. And so I think long-term success of this game, we really need to get some different weight classes for that competition. Because the competition, I think, is really going to interest freemium players. Like, if they could get in there and they could make, like, $1 or something, like, granted, they might have spent 20 hours on that phone over that week, and they don't realize it because it was at work, or it was on the bus, or it was here, or it was there, and they can earn that $1.50. Like, if we can if we can incentivize that, I think that'd be great. So I do believe we need weight classes in there. Moving on to a far less heady one. Bridges over water. Just kind of makes sense to me. I saw someone post that in the Discord, and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, bridges over water. Because that could potentially speed up the path out of your fields. And that's really cool, and it adds a whole extra layer to the game, because now, you're trying to get water to all your different plants, your salts, your sugar, whatever, your trees. But now you're also trying to say, oh, how am I going to format this so there's a quick and easy entrance in and out of the field? And I think it adds just an extra level to that middle / early middle phase of the game that would be spectacular. So I'd love to see bridges over the water. And last but not least, and this one is a carry-all, so I'm actually going to look at my cheat sheet right here. We just need a lot of quality of life changes to this game. And I'm not even talking about, the fact that right now we've had a couple days where it's like really hard to log on, because this is a beta. That's understandable. But just quality of life changes. And the biggest one, I think, are just graphs to kind of show you how the proximity effects on buildings work a little bit better. And graphs, you're like, what do you mean graphs? I mean like this. So imagine if you were going to place a silo and it popped this out. And so you could now know that, oh, this is how this silo is going to work. Because there's a lot of effects in this game. There is height, there is pollution, there's natural proximity effects, there's fountains, there's rivers, there's the air thing, and you can't have it so you have to do them 3 spaces apart. And right now, and this is especially, I think, essential for those freemium crowd. Once you know the game, you'll start to learn all these things. But for the freemium crowd, it is super frustrating when you place down this awesome wind thing. And you're like, yes, I put this down. This is awesome. Or you finally put down the thing that's going to help you make gas. And then you realize that there's pollution in this game. Or you realize that the proximity or away from people actually matters. And then it's super frustrating because it's like feels kind of like GameStop. Like, it's like, oh, hey, yeah, you built this big fancy thing? Here's $37 store credit. You can go buy something else when you destroy it, and that's rough. Now, it is nice that you, before you build the thing, you can still cancel it and you get all your money back. But I think this quality of life thing would make the game so much easier to understand and to play, and I think it would be super duper useful. Next, one dude, one job. That's what I wrote down. Could we fix the thing where I have 17 lumberjacks trying to deliver one wood so we can make flour, and then as soon as that lumberjack delivers that wood, the 16 other people are just like hive mind over here. Just getting into the weeds of the AI a little bit and just making them a little bit smarter. Because right now, this game, the end game of your farm, is optimization. Just trying to optimize things as good as you can. I don't know if I used that word correctly. Good. And so it's kind of hard trying to figure out what the AI is going to do sometimes. So if it was just, I think fixing this would really help a good deal. Another thing is, when I click on a spot, why not let me know how much water is on that spot? Like, oh, this has 2 water. This has 4 water. Instead of having to do like the Tetris thing, like, okay, that's 1, 2, 1 away. That's 1, 2, 3 away. Oh, shoot, that's 2. But if I built this here, this is it. Like, just little things like that would be nice. Also, potentially, when you're about to purchase something, let's say you're about to purchase a chicken coop. And the chicken coop needs a water every time. And so maybe it lights up green to say, oh, it has the requirement for this. Or maybe it pops up yellow for like sugarcane and it says 3 out of 6 water required for this in this particular location. Little things like that I think would just make it so much more user friendly. Also, I'm seeing the cocoa fields here, and I gotta get into the weeds here. One more thing, we need more. Can we get more information about this? Like, don't tell me. Like, tell me how much water it requires. Wait, before you put a pumpkin out, I think we all probably have the sticker shock of, dear God, that pumpkin needs how many water? Like, little things like that. So then I'm not just like, well, I guess I'm just going to try and get my money back. Like, I'm immediately destroying this pumpkin field. There's no way I'm going to get it that much water because then everything else around is going to die. You know, but there you go. Those are my top, was it 8? I think top 8 things that I would love to see in Townstar Season 2. And let me know in the comments below, what is something that you want to see in the future in Townstar? And if you're more interested in checking out Townstar, please click on that link down below. It helps me out, it helps you out. But full disclaimer, if you actually want to start earning Townstar coins every single day, you'll need to purchase at least 1 NFT. But also, you can go around and you can kind of sell it on OpenSeas after the fact and get most of your money back. It's kind of weird. It's a weird, wild world. By the way, none of this is investing advice because I don't want to get sued for something or other. But there you go. If you enjoyed this content, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below as I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers to celebrate my 10-year anniversary of making YouTube content. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Bye-bye.